Yeah, we're already going. So,
Woo, we're going.
how was your Thanksgiving? This is the day we're recording this on Black Friday, actually.
We should actually give everybody the backstory, though, that this is the second time we are doing this podcast.
Yes, we did have technical difficulties the first time. I take the blame for that. When I started the podcast, I didn't learn much about it, how to do everything, so I'm still learning. It's a still learning process.
And it's all right, because I'm bodybuilding's marketing queen, but I'm not the tech queen, so I couldn't figure out any of these things. But my Thanksgiving was good. So very unconventional this year. I did not do a big cheat meal or anything crazy. I was supposed to spend it with my mom's side of the family, but everybody was sick. No one did anything. And then my dad and I didn't know what to do. We're not cooks. Nothing was open, and we just hung out. We actually, it's funny, I didn't even tell anyone. We went to go see a movie yesterday. So we went to go see the Marvel.
Are the movies are open?
The movies were open. The mall was closed. The movies were open. We were one of 5 people in the whole
Interesting.
thing.
I don't know the last movie I went and actually saw in the theater. I feel like the theaters kind of died.
It died. Yeah. Well, at least on Thanksgiving too.
On Thanksgiving, I don't even. I mean, if I think about it, I probably haven't been to the movie since one of the Fast and Furious movies, I think.
Oh my god.
And it was probably 6, and I just found out recently that they're up to 10 now.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I didn't know that. No one told me anything. I guess I didn't see commercials or anything. I missed the past 4, so probably should catch up.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool if you have nothing to do and it's cold outside and whatever.
Yeah, but so it is Black Friday. How's the Shoe Fairy sale going? I know you were telling me you just had to step away from work.
It is very busy. So I just got tagged in an Instagram story. We started the sale at 12 a.m., so midnight, and we beat last Black Friday sale already by 96% or something.
96. That's
we are making a stupid amount of sales today. So anything I do today is gold. I walked out, I'm doing the podcast, I'm good to go for the weekend. Everything is great.
That's all. So you increased sales 96% already, and it's not even 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
No, so people don't know this yet, but they think that the Black Friday sale is a 24-hour sale, that it's going to end tonight. Mm-hmm. It's not. We extended it for Small Business Saturday.
Okay, small.
So it's going to be the best sale we probably ever had.
It's awesome. And what was your involvement in that? You still did all the email marketing and stuff that you've been doing?
Yeah, so I for the sale specifically, I designed the email campaigns. I created the GIFs that went in the text, the text reminders, and I created the reels for. We have 2 accounts. It's the Shoe Fairy and Naked Heels. So I created the reels that went out on both pages today.
Gotcha. So how long have you been working with the Shoe Fairy? I know we went over this last time, but
yeah. So I will be coming up on 4 years, which is actually crazy, in May of 2024. But it's a solid 3.5 years since I graduated college.
That's awesome. And how long has that company actually been around? Because I know you've been there probably since the start almost, right?
You know what's crazy? So the owner, Alexa, so if I say Alexa, it's the owner, she started the company 8 years ago. So she was on her own for a really long time and never had a marketing manager. All she had was one girl that would pack the orders, and her cousin sometimes did. But she was in business, but she was selling other people's products until she created her own 6 months before I joined. So for 4 years, she was actually just wholesaling other people's stuff. It would have been so you worked at JSS. So it would have been before Brian started Astroflave or his own line.
Yeah, so
just selling other
they were just selling other things, and it was all online sales?
Yeah, it's all e-commerce. So we don't have a physical location.
Nice. And how did you stumble into that line of work? Because you said you went to college and you went to the New York City Fashion Institute or
Fashion Institute of Technology.
Okay, Fashion Institute of Technology.
Yeah. So I always love telling the story. So you might even remember from last time, I was not into fitness at all growing up. My dad actually was. He was the chiropractor in a gym, so I was always around bodybuilders and fitness people. But I was overweight. I was into fashion and art and just totally different stuff. So I pursued a a degree in advertising and marketing at the fashion school. So while I started going there was when I really started to like get into the gym. I got like sick of the way that I looked. I
Mm-hmm.
hated being overweight, like I was uncomfortable. So I started like working out and eating better and stumbled into the sport of bodybuilding. Someone at the gym had asked me if I was like getting ready to compete. I didn't know what they were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually like kind of put two and two together and just had this idea that like the final stamp of my weight loss and stuff would be I'm going to step on stage. So when I was shopping around for the suit and the shoes and everything, I found the shoe fairy. So they were like, she was my shoes.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't her shoes though. It was the wholesale that she used to sell of like this Chinese company. It was just
Okay.
like plastic like shoes.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a really cool story. One day towards the end of college, which was like the very beginning of the pandemic, I was on Facebook. I saw a girl from high school who had said, like, I love working at the Shoe Fairy. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, the Shoe Fairy? Like, what are you talking about? I was like, where is this? Like, who's working there? And she's like, no one. It's just like me and the owner. I was like, well, who does the marketing? She's like, no one. We just post on Instagram sometimes. I'm like, I'm graduating college. I'm a bodybuilder. I have a fashion marketing degree. Like, I need in. Like, can you get me an interview? So I did. I was hired like right away, but she was like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, this pandemic's starting. Like, you could start work, but like, I just don't know what to tell you. We blew it out of the water like over the last 3.5 years. She's hired more people now and stuff. But
That's
yeah.
awesome. So you said while you were at college, you got into like the fitness journey and everything. But like when you first started college, what did you think you were going to do with like that degree in fashion marketing? Because obviously, if you weren't into fitness yet, that probably wasn't the path that you would have thought you were going to take.
Yeah, it's interesting. I always loved advertising and marketing. This is a story I don't always tell people, but when I was younger too, and I wasn't into fitness yet, I actually was a musician. So when
Okay.
I was really young, like 14, 15, I was like singing and playing guitar and I would market myself as being like someone who's played a lot and I'm professional and did all these covers and I would get myself into the Stone Pony, the Wonder Bar, the big
Mm-hmm.
shows around here. So my whole college admissions essay was about like your personal brand and marketing yourself and how I was doing that as a musician at the Jersey Shore. Um, but I kind of forget your original question. I just went off into like my own
It was just like,
world.
what do you see yourself doing with the
Oh, so
going to fashion school?
yeah, I always wanted to do something in marketing.
Mm-hmm.
I had another like odd interest of working in like consumer goods or like fragrance or flavors of like products, which kind of also like turned into, like a protein powder or a pre-workout, like,
Mm-hmm.
the flavors and the like the nutrition label, like the products that go into the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I'm just very into, I guess, like market research and consumer studies and stuff like
Kind of
that.
understanding how things are marketed, and why they're marketed in that way.
Yeah, yeah. And bodybuilding is really weird. It's really cool though, because say there was like, two t-shirt companies. It's like, it's very hard, like the competition, because, it's just like personal preference or style or whatever. But for like a bodybuilding show, it's like if a girl needs shoes for the show, it's a very easy sell
Mm-hmm.
because like you need shoes, here's the shoes, buy them. Like we don't really
Yeah.
have much competition. Supplement companies, people are very like passionate about certain brands, so they're going to order the same product. You can get customers for life that way.
Exactly. And you have been like heavily involved in the supplement industry as well, outside of the shoe fairy, doing your own like freelance work, right?
I have my first go around with anything in supplements was actually doing JSS, Jersey Shore Supplements, 10,000 challenge,
Yeah,
the website.
I think you had to have done the first one when
Yeah,
I was still there, like the JSS 10K challenge.
yeah,
I think Brian hit me up and was like, "Hey, I just hired this girl to do the website, and you do the social media. Can you like kind of work with her and figure out how to make the website. And I was like, okay. And then I think he told me who you were. And I was like, dude, I think I went to high school with her.
We did.
Like,
Yeah. Backstory.
And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I went to high school with her. But yeah, we'll get the website done. I remember I think you did it pretty quickly because we never had that much turnaround time. We always were kind of like, oh yeah, we want to start this in a week. Can you just kind of get it done?
That's been one of the biggest drivers, I think, of like my success in bodybuilding in this industry. I work very fast, but I do so on purpose because you know that little saying, it's like you could have it like fast and easy, but it won't be cheap, or like cheap and fast, but it won't be easy. You know what I mean? But like I think some of these bigger brands especially, it's like more important that like things come out fast and we can just blast it rather than it being like perfect, you know?
I think that's good with a lot of things in life. Is like if you can kind of you have the idea, kind of just go with it instead of just sitting around and waiting, over analyzing things like that. If you kind of can get things moving quick, I feel like it's an easier road to success. And even in marketing, you probably are a better marketer if you have the idea. It's like, okay, let's take advantage of this now instead of waiting.
Yeah, I'm just very like that. I don't think that people deserve to wait around. I hate when people don't get back to me and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, it's the worst. I've had that before when I was doing sales for like 2 weeks. It was like people say they're going to call you later, place an order. No one's calling back. It gets tiring.
Yeah, and then someone else can come in and like get the sale too. And if you were a slow salesperson yourself or something like that.
Exactly. And then what other companies have you been involved with since starting with doing the JSS challenge, and then you kind of grew from there?
I did a couple very small projects. There's people I actually even forget about, so this is like a fun little question for me. But I did work with Jason Arns, who owns I'm Prevail supplements.
Okay. Yeah. That brand's been out for a little bit now. I remember when he just started that. He was at Pro Subs for quite a while. Then he moved over into his own line.
Yeah. So, that's awesome. So I worked a little bit with him. It's not quite supplements, but I actually was sent a client from an affiliate from Shoe Fairy, which was Kingline Nutrition. You might know the like protein cookie dough butter things. I don't eat them personally.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But that was a really big client. I didn't even realize. I was then seeing people posting with their code, and I was like, wait a second, you know what that is? I didn't realize how big that was. They have like 100,000 Instagram followers.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never even heard of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I probably have. I'm not a big protein snack person.
Me neither. Yeah, so, that's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. We did your uncle's too. We did your uncle's website for that.
We did do the keto wafers. We still have those going.
Yeah, we did that. But so my biggest contract, my biggest break besides Shoe Fairy was getting Blackstone Labs, which is a very hardcore bodybuilding supplement company. I was with them a little over 2 years, but have actually parted ways like about a month ago.
Okay. How do you get involved with a company like Blackstone?
I always love this story too. I'm all like word of mouth for the most part, and it's just a true blessing. I guess I do a good job. I'm good at communication. Somehow my name gets passed. So something had happened where PJ Braun, the CEO, owner of Blackstone, posted on Instagram like this message of him talking, and he's like, I need a graphic designer and I need one fast. Does anyone know anyone? A girl I had worked with through the Shoe Fairy, like such a small world. She is the traveling makeup artist for the NPC IFBB, Be the Makeup Artist, was very close with PJ Braun. She was like, you need to call Rachel from the Shoe Fairy. Like, she's your girl. I have a screenshot of a post that PJ Braun had made when I was hired, and he said that they received like 50 applications in the first like 20 minutes or something, and mine stood out right away, and I was hired like the same day he posted the video.
Oh wow, that's really good. And then what did you kind of do for them during that 2-year time that you were with Blackstone?
So first I didn't know like where to place me because he needed more of like a true graphic designer, which is fine. I do that too. But then they realized that I knew how to work like their whole email software because it's what we use for Shoe Fairy, which is just crazy. So I basically took over all of the emails, and then I would create the graphics that just went in the emails.
Okay.
We would send it out. Like sometimes they'd post it on Instagram or something. They're not the best at social media though.
Okay.
that was not me. I was not the one posting on there.
Yeah,
So
I feel like a lot of supplement companies aren't the best at social media. That's not like the specialty. You're either like you either have like really good supplements and whatnot, or it's like you have a crazy marketing team that's like really good at marketing. The supplements might not be as up to par.
that's kind of true.
Because I feel like, you know, certain companies, you have a certain amount of like dollars allocated to like investing into the company, and it's either you're going to go into like R&D, research and development, or you might push heavy in marketing. So I feel like there's like a fine balance between a lot of like on that line for a lot of companies.
That's actually a really good point. I could even say in terms of Shoe Fairy, like we don't pay any of our athletes or influencers and stuff, and we won't at all. No, so it really goes into the actual product, and the product like speaks for itself. When people get it, they're like, "Wow, these are great shoes."
Is there like a lot of competition in the whatever the space is for Shoe Fairy? Because I know like I mean everyone that's doing bikini wellness and all that stuff, you're always looking for, like they always need the heels no matter what.
Yeah, so the only competition really, which now we're a part of, is Amazon, and Amazon is like the basic like Chinese manufacturer of clear heels, but
Okay.
they're not the same thing. She designed like her own shoe
Oh, she has like a specific shoe that's meant
with
for it.
cushion. Yeah, and it's like actually really comfortable.
Oh,
That's
is it?
why it's
'Cause,
so
I mean, I feel like I've seen girls in those heels. I mean, I've been to like probably a couple shows in my lifetime. Those heels don't look easy to walk in or easy to move around or comfortable in any way, shape, or form to me.
No, but this is cool. So, like, not always, but like most girls that are into bodybuilding, they're not the girliest girls. So they don't wear heels unless it's for the stage. So she designed heels that actually feel more like a slipper or a sneaker so that girls who are more masculine or not as like graceful walking in high heels can walk in them.
Okay.
If they can't, then that's just on them, but they're more comfortable,
Well,
you know?
how many shows have you done?
I've only competed in 2, but I did 3 preps because COVID ruined that second one.
Gotcha. So, I mean, what was that process like? Because, I mean, going into prep, and how long did you prep for?
So the first show is kind of funny because I I was still like losing weight on my own. I didn't have a coach. I didn't know what a meal plan was. There was no like cardio program. It was just like, how do I lose the most weight in the quickest amount of time to like make it? I think the deadline, the show was like August 3rd, and I started like Memorial Day weekend, like after that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had like one last like hurrah on like Memorial Day, and then I dieted for like 10 weeks. So that first one was just like eating as little calories as possible, energy drinks to keep me going, like just the whole nine. And I even said this to you last time too, and to anybody, I'm not showing you those stage shots, but I did all right. I placed 3rd in the open my first time around. The second prep was very different. I'm very transparent. It was my first time using PEDs. I looked a lot different. I had built more like muscle in that like little break of an off season in between the two. Like I was more on like a actual meal plan, supplements, like all things like that. So I think I could have done well in that show, but obviously it didn't work out, and that's okay.
And that's the time that COVID rolled around, right?
Yeah.
So what was the mindset like when you like how deep in prep were you when COVID hit?
It got so the gym shut down. It was March 16th of 2020, and the show was like April 4th. It was like
Oh, so you were deep into prep, and it you kind of shut down.
Yeah, I was in prep from like New Year's, so like January 1st or something, 2nd, up until like March.
What were your like initial thoughts when you started hearing? Because I remember when the shutdown happened. For me, it was like that whole week leading up to it was like, oh, are they going to shut down? Are they going to shut down? And me, I'm thinking like, no, there's no chance they can just shut down the country. Like that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I'm sitting in work one day, and I turned on the TV, and I see I think it was probably Murphy, because I think it was the state shut down first, and then it went like nationwide. But I see him, and he's like, oh yeah, gyms are closing, like everything's closing for 2 weeks basically. At first I thought it was a curfew. I'm like, oh whatever, I'm unaffected. I work out in the morning, and then I looked more into it. I'm like, holy shit, he actually just like closed gyms and all restaurants.
Yeah, I didn't even think that was possible. I think I was just, prep brain too. I think I
Mm-hmm.
was just so confused and tired. I'm like, I don't even know, like, what are they talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, everybody's like trying to, like, my coach, I was using someone local and we were close. I was dating him, I'm very honest. So we like created a gym like in his basement and we were just trying to make it work. But
Mm-hmm.
then obviously, if gyms are closed, restaurants are closed, you can't go anywhere. Like, why would a bodybuilding show be open? Like,
Yeah.
it just eventually clicked. And I didn't know what to do too because it was like I was so lean. I'm like, do I like break my diet?
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, my coach, my boyfriend at that time, was like, yeah, just go enjoy yourself because obviously this isn't happening. So I remember I bought like a huge box of cereal and I demolished the box of cereal, and that was about it. I was
Yeah,
done.
no, I couldn't imagine if I was in a prep and like that deep into prep, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, we're closing the gyms, and there's nothing you can do about it, like, because that's not something you can control.
No, I think that this is what separates me from m- most other competitors, and especially now, but this is going back almost 4 years ago. Like, bodybuilding as a competitor is not my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a student at that time. So, of course, it sucked that my gym got closed and like I couldn't do a show, but like, there's so many other like layers to me as a
Mm-hmm.
person that I just didn't let it ruin everything else that I had.
Yeah,
Does that make
that's
sense?
a really good mindset to take. I know me personally, when they shut down gyms, and I realized that gyms were actually closed, I went online and I spent a good amount of money on just like a power rack and everything, because I'm like, oh, there's no chance I'm not working out. Like,
Yeah, no,
I'm
of
like,
course.
because for me, it's like, I came from the opposite side of the spectrum where if I stop working out, I'm just gonna get really skinny again.
I hate
Um,
people like that.
See, I can't stand being this way because I fight to keep weight on, but I was like, there's no way I've come this far in my journey to have gyms shut down and then not be able to work out for. It was 2 weeks, so I kind of prematurely panicked, but I was like, I feel like this is going to be a little bit longer than two.
Mm,
Um, I ordered my power rack. I got a couple other things like accessories for it,
mm.
and I think I got it in like 2 weeks was my delivery time. If I would have waited another like 24 hours to order it, I think the delivery time was like 6 months.
Wow. Oh
So
my
yeah,
God,
yeah.
it's
Oh, I
awesome.
jumped the gun so quick, and then I didn't even. I was living at home at the time too, so I didn't even ask my parents before I actually ordered. I ordered it, and then I was like, okay, I just got to convince them that it's okay. Um, Otherwise, there was just going to be a pallet of workout equipment showing up at their house, and they were right with it. I got a corner of the garage, and then just kind of worked out there for the summer, like it was probably winter and fall, right? Or it was no. What season is that? Is that spring? It's spring.
Yeah, didn't they reopen though in the fall?
No, well,
When
yeah.
did
So
it open again?
so it was. I think they shut down gyms March 16th or whatever. Are you sure it was the 16th?
I
I feel,
remember that day.
See, I feel like it was earlier, personally.
I don't know why I always think it's the 16th, but
The only reason I
it's
think
okay. Maybe
no,
I'm
it might
wrong.
have been after because I don't remember. The only reason I know this is because like all the St. Patrick's Day parades, and I think they canceled COVID before the parades could actually happen, or no, maybe they happened right after the parades.
Yeah, I don't know. I always remember that one day. It's funny. I don't know. Maybe I'm just making it. It
Yeah, no,
sounds good to
no,
me. I have no idea.
it
I
might have
was
been the
just curious.
16th because I remember I was sitting in JSS in Middletown and I turned the TV on and I saw the news. But yeah, I was very lucky that I got all this stuff when I did because if I had to wait and then kind of scramble around for the whole entire like spring and summer, I would have been a mess not being able to work out. What were you? And I remember you telling me you mentioned that you were able to work out in a garage or.
Yeah, it's funny too. Like, I was concerned with that, but I think I
Mhm.
was in like such shock. I was so emaciated too. Like, when I was that stage weight would have been, even though my next one turned out to be like that too, but that stage weight would have been like 110 pounds. For
Mhm.
reference, now I'm like 127, but like
Okay.
that's really, I was so small. Like, I just wasn't worried about
Mhm.
like missing the gym. I was so over the gym at that time.
I bet.
But I got lucky. I was still living at home at that time. I moved out like right after like prep had ended, and then eventually I graduated college online,
Okay.
because of COVID, and then I started the shoe fairy, and 3 months after I started the Shoe Fairy, I moved out. I was able
Okay.
to just get my own place, which was really cool
So
during COVID.
you were actually in school during COVID? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, because I graduated May of 2020.
So, oh, so you were like finishing up as COVID started.
Yeah.
What was that thought process like when? Because I mean, I again me, I wasn't a school person. If I would have been like 3 years into a degree or somewhere along those lines, and they were like, yeah, schools are closed now. I don't know if I know I wouldn't have done online classes when I was younger. I was like that kid that just hated school. If there wasn't someone there telling me to do something and like making me, I probably wouldn't have.
Yeah, no, I got so lucky because I mean, this happened, so think about it, March of 2020 graduated May. So it's now halfway through the spring semester of my last semester of college. So I had like what 3 or 2 months to do online classes. It was actually more sad because it was like everybody's scared. The state of New York, especially, like everybody has to flee. I'm like saying bye to my friends that lived in like Texas and Arkansas and all these weird places because I was like never gonna see them again. And these professors didn't know what to do with us, like their lesson plan. So FIT was a lot of projects and stuff. Not that you can't do that online, like PowerPoints and stuff, but like it was more in person of like presentations, like public speaking.
Okay.
So they would have you present a little something on Zoom. Everybody got an A the last semester, which it was actually great because it was like I was mentally checked out. I was depleted as can be from prep. I was just getting A's and being done with college. It was kind of cool. But
That's
like,
awesome.
yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Did you live there your first 3 years?
I lived there my very first semester, and city life was not for me. That I was like, Dad, I'm coming home.
Where in the city is that?
Oh, it's
Is it Manhattan?
yeah, it's Chelsea. So it's
Okay, I'm familiar with Chelsea a little bit.
yeah, so 7th Avenue and West 27th Street.
I mean, I've actually been to Chelsea like one time. That's like my familiarity with it. But yeah,
It was like a bar or something. Where'd you go to Chelsea?
my cousin lived in Chelsea for like a year or two, and I think I went to help him move out of his apartment.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I pretty much only went to Chelsea the one time, and I just moved him out of his apartment, and then I went home. It wasn't like I went around sightseeing or anything like that.
Yeah. No, it's just like the heart of Manhattan. Like if you were to take the train into Penn Station from New Jersey, I literally would just walk like 7 blocks to school. It
Okay.
sounds like a lot. They're like small blocks.
So you did that city commute after that for 2 years? How many days a week were you commuting in for class?
At the most 3, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But usually I kind of get it down to 2, but I would go long days. Like I basically lived in New York for the day. I'm
Gotcha.
talking like left my house at 5 a.m. and didn't get home until like 8 p.m. It was like
Oh, wow.
crazy long. Yeah.
And you would just be in the city the whole time. And
Whole day.
so what were classes like? Is that like a normal college and normal curriculum at fashion school, or is that more geared towards like fashion and like that kind of programming?
It is really cool. I'd actually recommend this to anyone who is not like like a school or a college person, but knows they want to like do something where like a degree might be necessary. Nowadays, maybe not. But so FIT is a 2+2, meaning you go for 2 years. Like when you apply, you're applying for an associate's. You can't apply for a bachelor's. You actually have to graduate after 2 years. Then you have to reapply for the bachelor's. That's why the acceptance rate is so small. So I did 2 years for advertising, marketing, associates. Then I reapplied for the bachelor's and then like got into that too, and then took a minor.
Okay.
I know it's like very complex.
Yeah, no, because I mean, I went to Brookdale for a semester, and I don't even know what they made
You
me
went
do.
only for 1 semester?
I wasn't a school person.
Wow,
So
I don't get that vibe from you at all.
I went, and I know my first day it was raining. I couldn't find parking, and
Drove home.
yeah, I just turned around and went home.
Oh my god.
It was like it's 10 minutes from me, and the parking lot was just jam packed. I didn't know where my class was. It was like at some building. There was no parking anywhere. They were doing construction in the parking lot. I'm like, I'm trying again another day. Like it's only the first day. The teacher could probably email me a syllabus or whatever we're going over.
That's really funny.
And they put me in they made me do all the basic classes, which I wasn't like in for. So it was like I was like, oh, I want to be a physical therapist because when I was in high school, I broke like 22 bones. I had 2 surgeries and stuff. And I went to physical therapy twice, and I had a good experience with my physical therapist. And I liked him, and I was like, oh, this is something I want to do, like help people, fix their injuries or whatever. I have a lot of experience getting hurt, so I probably would be good at it. And then I went to Brookdale, went to the guidance counselor, and she's like, okay, you need to major in biology if you want to be a physical therapist. Like, this has nothing to do with what I want to do, so no.
Okay.
And then they were like, well, you got to do the prerequisites, and my mom really wanted me to try to do school. And yeah, sure enough, it just didn't work out.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. No, this is so different where because it's just the associates, it's like you're thrown right into advertising marketing day one.
Okay.
You do have to take like math and English, but it's not what you're thinking. Like, you're going to say, what? They're electives. So I actually took screenwriting. So I was writing like short films.
That's English?
Like, that's your English class. Like, you could choose whatever.
See, I had to take English 101 at Brookdale, and I was not happy. Like, they were making
that.
me write like essays. I was taking algebra again.
Yeah, like my math was like something with like finance. It was totally different. The curriculum is so different.
See, I feel like that's better than most places. I probably would have done better if I could have gotten to a school that was like that I knew the direct path I was going on instead of just sending me into all these basic courses and then eventually after 2 more years of school, after I just finished my first 12 years of high school, middle school, all that stuff, then I had to do 2. I was at the point where it was like I was so excited to be out of high school, and then they said they threw me back. They basically what I felt like threw me back in, and I'm like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, no.
For any longer.
Yeah, no, that would have killed me too, honestly. I wasn't even like someone in high school that like loved school. The funny part with me is like even doing this podcast, like I have the gift of just like talking and like presenting and stuff like that. But when it comes to like writing essays and like taking a test, I'm not a good student. I was good at FIT because I was passionate about like what I was presenting. So, like, I would get good grades that way, but, like, I didn't do great in high school. I don't even know how I got in. I think my essay was just good.
Yeah, no, I think I was actually a good writer in high school. I could always write essays and stuff like that. I could just go off about whatever. All the other subjects I just didn't like.
Yeah.
And then I actually wasn't a good talker in high school either. That's something like I would take experience over anything. Now that I'm a little older, I think experience is way more important than like any college. I mean, I think college is great; it's a good tool to have, but I think like the experience of being in the real world is something that is like underappreciated in today's culture.
Yeah, definitely. And like it's very cliche, but I say the same even when I see like what you've done too. Like life is what you make it. Like I could have just graduated with the marketing degree. I could have even just worked full time at Shoe Fairy all of these years. But like that's just not me. I just think there's more out there. You could have stayed in retail all of these years. Like there's just more to life, you know?
And then you're still at Shoe Fairy though, right?
I am.
Yeah.
No, I am. But she's been amazing with me, the owner, and like the fact that I could run my own business and work with so many people and still work with her and be compensated very nicely for it. Like no contractor that I've ever heard of like has still a client that's like very consistent. Usually they don't know where their next like work is coming from.
Exactly.
Because I do lose people all the time. It just happens. That's the name of the game. But for every like lost person, then like something else pops up or something.
So how do you get into like owning your own business and everything? Is that something you always had an interest in or do you have like any inspirations for that?
No. Like
just kind of
isn't that crazy? No, I feel like everyone always says, I don't want to work for someone or no, I can't even explain. What I actually wanted to do when I graduated FIT is I had a thought. So their professors are different. They're not like real teachers. They're like people who worked in the industry and then go back and like teach to current students and explain like how that like works in the real world. So I had an idea like you have to work for like 7 years. I was like, oh, I'm going to work for 7 years. I'm going to go back and become a professor.
Okay.
The crazy thing is I'm 3.5 years in. I'm like halfway there, which is kind of weird. But no, what really happened was it's funny. I like girl bossed too hard and now I'm working with too many people. So I have to make it a business because my taxes are a disaster. So I did the name Creativity by Knecht. My last name's Knecht. No one knows how to pronounce it. And I love the look of like the Google like pronunciation where it like spells out the word.
Okay.
So I was trying to think of a way to describe me, and I'm like, I'm really just creative because if you need a logo, I will do a logo. If you need a website, I'll do a website. I'll do anything like within marketing because I just like to be involved.
Gotcha. And then, so, like, how long did you do that growing up, or is that something like you kind of picked up on as you just got into like the world and in like business?
Yeah, it started definitely during college because I had like retail jobs and things like that, but mostly like if I wanted to make a little money, I was running like small businesses like social media and stuff. One of my first like roles was my mom's best friend from high school runs a hair salon in West Orange.
Okay.
I was running the salon page like I never even went to the salon. I lived in Tinton Falls doing West Orange, like Studio 7 salon. She'll laugh if she listens to this. And I ran that for like a year. She paid me like $75 a week. And I thought I was rich.
Yeah,
This
that's
was
awesome.
in college, like freshman year. But yeah, no, just hustling the same way, like getting the JSS site or I'm trying to think of who else I did in college. I worked even for my uncle. My uncle is an auctioneer in New Jersey.
Okay.
Would do marketing for him. Like anything I can get my hands
Anything
on.
you can get your hands on. So, and then you kind of found a permanent home in like the supplement and like fitness industry.
Yeah, because I learned so much from Shoe Fairy alone that when I started introducing this, and especially now after doing Blackstone, I've also been with other big companies like Nutrition Factory.
Okay.
They're very large in the supplement space.
Where are they based out of? They're
Nashville.
Nashville, right?
Tennessee.
Okay.
Yeah. With them. Now I'm working with Australian Posing School and the Posing School. So it's an online and in-person posing. It's actually a school in Australia. So
Okay.
they teach coaches how to become posing coaches and also teaching their clients.
Interesting.
Yes. But what I meant was I've just learned so much of what makes this industry so different that I'd rather just keep building this out than marketing like random, like, you know,
Going
local
into trying to do like different industries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and you do a lot of like the email marketing, right? Not more now, more so than like social media and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've learned. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. So, Shoe Fairy, even one of my main roles when I started there was I was posting on Instagram. That was me actually designing the feed and like what would come next and making sure there was a good mix of like product and photo shoot and user generated. That's not me anymore. We've actually transitioned that, and there's another girl that works for us that does the Instagram. So I do more of the like behind the scenes stuff, like the email marketing and affiliate and influencer like marketing.
Okay.
For us, it's more like sponsored athletes, making sure the girls on the Olympia stage have our shoes and stuff like
Okay.
that. So it's like bigger projects. But email marketing is usually what I start with when I'm trying to get someone new because it's like most people will use like an agency. So say I'm actually going to use a real world example. I reached out to VMI Sports supplement company.
Okay.
And I was looking at, so what I'll do is I'll sign up for like someone's email list and I'll look to see what they're doing. And I know, I'm like, an agency did this. Not that it looks bad. It looks really generic and like there's no
Like personal touch to it.
Yeah, and it's almost like even the verbiage is stupid because it's like no bodybuilder talks like that. Like swole starts here. Like it just sounds dumb. I'm like, I don't know who wrote this, but so I do like a little audit where sometimes I'll send them like a Loom video and I'm like, hey, I'm Rachel. I'm from New Jersey. I own this company. I've worked with all these people. Like I'm showing you, like I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do that. This is wrong. Why did they do that? And I'm showing them all what's wrong. So it's like I'm kind of like your in-house marketing person, even though I'm still working from home and with other people.
Gotcha.
It's like a more personal touch.
And then did you fully start working from home during COVID, during that time, or were you always like a work from home type position?
No, this was ever since I got the Blackstone Labs because
Okay.
I was in the office with the owner of Shoe Fairy. Then they presented me a role and I was like, hey, look, I'm taking this. So it's either like, I don't work for you or I work for you too, but I'm working from home. So that's how it started. And it actually took me like another year to actually do the LLC and get everything.
Okay. And how do you like working from home?
I'm so used to it now. As we sit here and talk at like 2:00 on a Friday afternoon. but no, it's great. And I think you have to be a person that's very on top of your shit so that you get your work done, but you also have like balance and can step out and stuff.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, I want to work from home at sometimes, but I feel like it being in the office is a different type of environment. Like I kind of have to work there. Here I can roam around and do whatever.
That's
But
true.
I mean, I feel like I would get stuff done, and there's like less distractions if you're by yourself, and if you're like, you know, you kind of want to get your work done so you can do something else.
Yeah, you kind of have to like set limits with yourself too. Like I'll place these fake timers in my head and say I want to get to the gym today at 4. Okay, so I have from 1 to 3 to do this. Then I'm gonna eat my pre-workout. I still live like a bodybuilder. You know, you gotta have like a regimen.
And do you ever plan on competing again, or is that kind of done for?
I gotta be honest. Even since the last time we spoke, I've just been toying with this idea, and I'm like, do I want to do it? But I just don't think at the capacity that I'm working right now that I could really handle a prep right now. Maybe another time, but yeah, because my brain goes like I turn into just mush for some reason. Once I start like cutting my calories like extra
when you're
low.
depleted, I mean that's one of the first things that goes is like the mental. You kind of just get a little drained. You lose a little bit of focus and stuff like that. I mean I've never had to cut that much, so I've never like really been that much in a deficit.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what I would be like if I had to be like hungry all the time and go through it though.
Yeah, I don't know why. And I get tired easily too. So I'm talking like I would go to bed probably at like 6, 7 o'clock. Like I wouldn't be able to stay up.
Fueling your day with coffee all day.
Yeah, that's how I made it most of my preps.
Yeah, no, I've developed a way higher caffeine tolerance now that I have an actual office job and I'm kind of doing computer stuff all day.
Is that why we're sponsored by?
We're not an official sponsor by Made in Coffee, but he was my third podcast guest, real cool guy, John, and he just started a coffee business out of nowhere. Or it wasn't out of nowhere. It was cool because I followed him for a long time. He was doing coffee reviews, I think before COVID. I just knew him from the gym. He was just doing coffee reviews of all the local coffee shops. It was just cool stuff. Like he was putting cool content out there, and I watched him. And then I don't know what happened. I made a different Instagram, and I didn't follow that page back or something. I didn't see it for a while. And then all of a sudden, like he did a giveaway with like this coffee that he was like giving away free bags of coffee. And if you like reposted his story and tagged a couple people, one of those like marketing campaigns, and it showed up on someone else's story, and I'm like, holy shit, this is what he's doing now. And I immediately followed him, reached out to him, set up the podcast. It was a cool episode, and then just went from there.
See, I just love stuff like that, and that's even the play on words with my last name, Knecht, like the power of connection with other people. I just think that that's so awesome.
And then how many accounts do you like take on at once? Do you have like a limit you set, or is it kind of just like do what you can?
Something I started implementing this year was taking like freelancing or like programs and courses. I don't have a mentor. I don't have anything like that. I just sit on like those master classes and like learn from other people. What do they do? Because I'm just making this up as I go. I don't know what the rules are. So the number one thing is they usually say, don't say no to work. What you're supposed to do is say yes to everyone, which is easy for me. I'm definitely a people pleaser. I like that. But like you might have to like subcontract or set later deadlines or do different things to make it all work, which I've had to do before, push things back or like see if I could find someone else that can kind of help me with something small or whatever. But I almost never say no to work that comes in. I've been really fortunate where I've been very steady and busy, and it just seems like as soon as someone leaves, someone new comes in. That's just the world. I don't.
So you have like good turnover of customers, right, or clients? You would say.
I do actually. I'll even share with you today, which just happened. swear to God, last night I get an email from someone I had been back and forth with, and I didn't hear from her in like a week. And I was like, all right, like interesting. For a suit company. I've never actually been a full contractor with a suit company for bodybuilding.
Oh, okay.
Writes me last night and goes like, I set up the affiliate program. She wants an affiliate marketing manager, someone to actually manage her affiliates and get the name out there more. I'm not going to disclose the company yet because I don't work for them yet, but it's a big one though. And she actually integrated the program I told her to get. She was like, I'm ready. When are you ready to start? I'm like, oh my God. So now I'm like, I gave her a date and we're going to see what she says, see if I can get the contract going, all that stuff. But it's like now I just filled up another spot. Like I didn't even know I was going to get that. Yeah. Just every day is like a mystery. It's crazy.
That's awesome to be able to do that and then just kind of take on work in one industry pretty much. And then what else do you do? Isn't the Shoe Fair, you were telling me last time they're starting a new branch or new like sister company?
Yeah, so currently right now, so like my day-to-day, my number one priority will always be Shoe Fairy. And Shoe Fairy owns like a second line. We have the clear heels, that's Shoe Fairy. Then there's naked heels, which are like nude, like skin tone colored shoes. So Shoe Fairy naked. Then I have the posing school and Australian posing school because that's owned by the same person too.
How does that work, working with someone in Australia? Is communication a problem?
They're 16 hours ahead.
So if they're 16 hours ahead, what are you just talking to them basically tomorrow? Like they're in...
Yeah, so they're in Saturday right now. She'll be waking up, and it's like Saturday morning.
Oh, okay. So
my week for her is more like Sunday to Thursday because my Friday is like her Saturday. So I'm kind of off today.
Okay.
But yeah, and it's weird too because in Australia, like us in America, we work all the time. They're kind of like off the month of December. So she's really chill right now. So that's kind of why I was like looking to fill like some like space. But crazy how that like ends up.
They're just off in December?
It's like they kind of go on holiday and they just relax. And like Americans don't do that. Like no, we take like one day and
I feel like we don't relax at all.
No, I'm like so high strung.
I got the call this morning at, I think it was it's probably around like 8:15 this morning, and one of my bosses was like, "Hey, we got to get these orders processed for Black Friday." I'm like, "Yeah, no problem. I'll just log on."
We have no boundaries.
Yeah, no, it was like, he's like, "Oh, good, you're up. Need someone to go through these orders. We're trying to ship them out, and we're backed up right now." I guess NutraBio had a great Black Friday so far.
Oh, nice, sweet. It's a good year then, obviously.
But yeah, no, things are going well for them. I mean, I did a lot of orders this morning, and then they're probably still coming in. I think they did like 25% off. But it's cool. I like being on the back end of a company now.
It's awesome.
Instead of being like on the floor in the supplement store, like doing retail, like talking to consumers. Now I see all the back end stuff, like the marketing of how to like attract yourself or be attractive to consumers, and then how you go do it differently with wholesale accounts and stuff like that. I really enjoy that part.
Oh, that is so cool. And probably even I don't know who does it for NutraBio, but do you get to like work with sponsored athletes or see that end?
I actually don't know if we have an athlete coach or an athlete manager right now.
Oh, okay.
But I think that's something
Ask if they're hiring.
Yeah,
no, just kidding.
No, we definitely, I think that's something we're going to look more into in 2024 from what I've heard, and that's something I would be interested in. Feel like it would be something I'm probably good. I would be decent at talking to athletes, getting to know them, and then I already have a little platform now. I can have them on my own podcast, and
cool. Yeah.
And then I think what would be cool is if I could tie in what I'm doing with like the Shore Body Nutrition, coaching, and be like the athlete manager, maybe be an athlete coach for NutraBio too.
That is really.
These are all ideas that I've had so far. I haven't brought them up to anyone in the company, so that would be the next step. I'll try to talk to them about it and see what they say.
Yeah, I wonder how that would work with you guys. Just a little side note with even Shoe Fairy, we're very specific to. We can't necessarily promote like a single coach or a single. Even though I work with Australian Posing School, we can't like push a posing coach because so many of our athletes and customers they are all of those things. You know? So I don't know how that works with supplements.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I would just be someone in-house that can do it. Yeah. It's like, oh, if you're like an athlete, maybe like Sean would you can have Sean as a coach or get your own coach or something. Like, who knows how it could work? But I mean, it's something I'd definitely be interested in pursuing, and I definitely want to be an affiliate besides working at NutriBio, I want to be an affiliate of them too.
Yes, yeah, you definitely should.
So if I'm coaching people, I can give them a code to actually go use like NutriBio products because it's like such a
Yes.
cool company. Like everything they do on the back end with like the testing of the products, like the quality assurance, all that stuff. Seeing it back end is like really impressive.
So that would be like, I'm glad you said that. That would be like my type of role where I'm the person reaching out to, like, say I work at NutriBio, I would be reaching out to the athletes to set up their affiliate codes so that when they promote it as a coach to all their clients, they get a commission, and now we're getting all those sales from their clients.
Exactly.
Like, I think influencer marketing, affiliate marketing is so cool.
Well, I think even now, like I think it happened after COVID. Is like this whole influencer craze in the fitness industry like has blown up.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of even stepping away from like the Olympia, like amazing athletes to just these kids that are really funny on TikTok.
No, that's I say it all the time, and I think a lot of people agree. It's like I don't know that many bodybuilders anymore. I know names of like fitness influencers from like Instagram. I don't have a TikTok, but like YouTube and stuff like that. That's where like the fitness industry is now. The bodybuilding community and all that is like following the influencers, not even the people that are actually on stage.
Yeah, I was I remember I shared a story with you too. I went out on like a company dinner with it was the owner of All Black Everything, ABE supplements.
Mm-hmm.
All of their athletes, and you could see it on the Instagram, they're all influencers. They are like not Olympia athletes. They're like 21-year-old kids.
Yeah.
But they have millions and millions of followers, and that
Mhm.
brand is blown up like crazy. I love what they're doing. They're definitely one to watch.
No, it's called All Black Everything.
Abe, so it's like ABE, All Black Everything.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm familiar with any of their products or anything.
It's so cool. I have nothing to do with it. I'm not
Mhm.
sponsored, but even the marketing, the graphics, the affiliates, the emails, everything looks so good. They're like killing
They're
it.
the ones doing it right now.
They're doing it right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think seeing the fitness industry from when I started probably 10 years ago, to now is crazy. Where it kind of went. I didn't see it happening like this.
Me
And
neither.
it's kind of blown up, and it still seems like it's only growing right now.
Me too. And I remember that even when I started with the shoe fairy, it was like, it was still kind of unusual. It was like, what are those like clear stripper heels? Now
Mhm.
it's like everybody knows a bodybuilder or someone who's done it.
Yep.
You know, it's not that weird anymore.
Yeah, when I kind of got involved in the sport, not that I ever competed or anything, it was kind of like I knew the community around this area, and it was cool. Like you had your like tight knit like bodybuilding community or like fitness people that were really into it, and then all of a sudden you see it now. It's just like everyone's doing it, especially if you go to like one of the big like influencer gyms,
Yeah.
like Iron Rev, and you go there at like a busy time. Everyone's like kind of filming their content, getting after it in the gym. It's way different than when I started.
Oh my
For
God,
sure.
totally.
And probably for you too, because you started around the same time I did, I think.
Yeah, I got into the gym like 2016.
Yeah, I was probably like 2013 when I graduated high school. It would have been my
Yeah.
first was like my first experience, and then that was kind of the gym's probably my only passion, really, like my first passion outside of basketball when I stopped playing basketball.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about that last time, your
Mm.
height too. I was like, no wonder you were a basketball player.
Yeah, no, and then I kind of I gave that up, and then I decided to go down the fitness path, and just fell in love with it, and now I've just kind of made that my career path, and I'm just still trying to figure out like how to keep going in it instead of
that.
like, yeah, because like I went into like outside sales for energy drinks. I don't really drink energy drinks like that, so it was like I'm going into these accounts and I'm trying to sell them product, and like I sold a couple, like I had a couple sales, had a couple people want to buy from me, and then it was just like I'm talking about it. I'm like, I don't really know the product. I'm not passionate about it. How do I I can't really convey passion if I'm not if I don't care about the product at all.
I think that would have happened to me if I pursued working for fashion,
Mm-hmm.
doing something that like I just don't really care for. I got a little dressed up today, but most of the time I'm just in gym clothes or whatever like a company sends me or something, like logos and things I sometimes design and whatnot. But like because I am doing bodybuilding, I'm very excited and passionate about it.
That's cool. And like, what goes into designing a logo? Because I had logos made for me, and I just I didn't. I'm probably like I might be one of the easiest or more complicated clients. I don't know how I actually am.
I do like yours a lot.
I literally I just told him, like, I just said, okay, this is what I'm doing. can you make a logo? And they like, do you have any details? I'm like, nope, you're the creative ones, go for it.
Sometimes that could be really hard though. I'm kind of a person where like I need a direction.
Mm-hmm. I think my quote to them, it's a company called Season 8.
Oh, I think I've heard of that.
So they're like local from Belmar.
Oh, maybe that's why.
Two girls, yeah, they're really cool. And they worked on Astroflave when I was at JSS still. So that's how I had the connection with them. And I don't think I actually realized you made logos. I thought you just did like the design and like the email marketing and all like that stuff, like the websites.
No,
I was familiar with.
No, that's okay. I actually, a little shout out to a couple of Jersey coaches. I did Every Calorie Counts. I did Pro Concepts.
Every Calorie.
Team ECC.
Yeah, I know what's his name?
Tim English.
Tim. Yeah, no, I've seen him coaching people for a long time, being in the industry, and his business seems like it's like kind of grown a lot, and he's done a really good job with everything he's done.
You're actually the second person who's just told me that recently, and I was like,
yeah. So he has coaches under him now. They're all doing their thing, and it seems like he's built like a very good business, and that's someone like with me. That's someone I kind of quietly look up to in the industry. I don't know if I've ever actually met Tim, but I've been very familiar with his work over the years.
He's a good dude. Shout out to Tim English. Yeah, reach out to him if you can. But he was awesome. I did Frank and his girlfriend Cass. It was the Pro Concepts, their gym.
Okay.
The sign. This is so cool. It's the first time I got to see that. He made the sign. It's my logo. Like,
awesome.
That is so sick. Gianna with Amplify Performance.
Okay.
Like, yeah, a lot of like the local ones. But yours is even, it's like, it's clean. It's so my kind of style.
I love it.
Awesome.
I think my legit quote to them was, make me a logo that's more recognizable than Nike. And
damn.
I was just kidding. I was like, kidding. I was
bold.
Yeah, no. So I was like, I'm starting a podcast. I'm starting nutrition coaching. I need 2 logos. Just kind of go for it. Let me know what you will come up with. And then I got the Unorganized. I actually have stickers. I can give you a sticker.
I would love a sticker.
I keep forgetting to give these out to my guests, and I put them on my table for that.
Cool. Yeah, I love stuff like this.
Yeah, I got those like sticker mule. It's crazy how like everything you can get so easily now.
I know.
Like I think I got those from Sticker Mule. I just uploaded my picture, uploaded the picture, and they just sent me a bunch of them.
Anyone could be a graphic designer now. I mean, really though, but I don't know how to print
it seems so complicated though to do that, because I've tried to go into Adobe. What is it? It's not Photoshop. It's the other one.
Illustrator?
Yeah, Illustrator. And I'm lost in there.
My college taught us a lot of things, so I could do a lot of like tricks and stuff. But I will say, Canva blows me away. I'll learn things every day that this thing can do, and I'm like, what the hell? Of like,
Canva's the free version too, right?
Oh, it must be Canva. Yeah, it's like a business one or something.
Okay, Canva Pro or whatever.
Yeah.
I've never looked into Canva because I want to get into like designing logo, like maybe covers for my podcast, and then like other things like that. So you would say Canva's like a good option?
If you have to, yeah, as a beginner especially, but you could Google too. There's so many tricks and things you could do in there. I used to hate on it and like shit on it and make fun of it because we didn't even have that when I was in college. And now I'm like, no wonder like nobody goes to school. This is great.
Yeah, no, I mean, the amount of stuff you can do online and like have done for you now is crazy. Do you utilize like AI at all in graphic design yet, or?
No, but you know what scared me recently? So the owner of the posing school wants to start doing blogs on the website.
Okay.
She sends me this thing and she's like, AI wrote this, and she's so proud of it. I'm like, oh my God, this thing's going to take my job, because I write blogs for the Shoe Fairy. So if you go on our website, they're all written by me. I'm like, that is so good. Why is it so real? Like, how did they know how to write it like a bodybuilding posing article? They don't know what that is.
So I think what AI does, it takes like all the information on the internet and then it compiles it and like spits out like whatever it can think of.
That's crazy.
Like, I've used it for stuff in the I have an app. My app's coming out soon. I used AI to write my description of the app, because I have no clue how to do that. And then my website with like all my apparel, I used AI to write my return policy.
Oh my God.
Because I don't know how to write things legally, so what I like about it is I can just type in like, hey, I need a return policy written for an apparel company, and like these are my rules. And then it wrote me like a whole thing that sounded extremely professional. So I like it for that aspect, but I don't think it's gonna take jobs like people might think it's going to, because there's still like some things that are right that just make no sense, and it's not completely factual at all either.
Yeah, maybe. That article was pretty good. I actually
Mm.
I really read it and was like blown away at what that thing did. But yeah, and I know that they do it too for like graphic design. Like sometimes you could buy like a logo maker. I think they suck. I don't know.
They do. They're not like I looked into doing one, and I would say like after I got my logos, I was like, oh, I wonder what AI could do, and I got like a free version online, and I was like, this is the name of the company, like write it make me a logo, and it wouldn't even put the name of it like couldn't generate the name of the company or something. It just made no sense. I'm like, this is actually terrible.
Oh, okay,
And
good.
yeah, no, it was very frustrating. But I think last time we did the episode, you were going golfing after.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
how was the day on the course?
Oh my God. Well, I can't even remember if it was outdoor or indoor, but now we're at that time of the year too where it's like freezing. So now my golf has to be indoor golf, but
I feel like today is nice out.
it's the wind. So what happens is if you're playing outside and then you hit it under a tree and now you're under the tree and the wind's coming, it's so cold. And being out there for like 18 holes, it's like 4 hours.
Yeah, no, it's a long day of commitment. But
Yeah.
how long have you been golfing?
So I did play a little bit my senior year of high school. My dad is a very good golfer, got me my clubs when I was like 17 or 16 or something. I've had them all these years, and something just clicked. A lot of people picked it up during COVID. I didn't do that. Something clicked this summer where I just wanted to like get into like a hobby that had nothing to do with like, because I'm still working out and creating logos and doing all the things that like I do, but I wanted something that had nothing to do with that. So I just picked up
like an
golf.
escape.
Yeah, and it is an escape. I think it is so stress free because it's just like it's like 4 hours of just thinking about nothing else except like how to hit the ball like where it needs to go. Like that's how like simple my brain gets when I golf.
No, that's cool. I mean, I think it's important to have something like that in your life to kind of get away from all like the noise of like normal life and get away, go golf or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's why I like going out. Like I have the boat. Like that's my escape. So I'm like, I'm out there. Nothing can get to me out on the water. Nothing can follow me out there. Like I'm in my own world. I'm like happy out there. Just relax. All I can do is relax.
Yeah, that's awesome. Too, yeah, you're like literally stuck in one place, but that's kind of how I feel on a golf course too.
No, I definitely need to get back into golfing. I mean, I golfed grown up for like 3-4 years. Stopped, got clubs. When I graduated high school, no one was into golf when when like you graduated. Like you're too young at that point. Like I guess everyone just wanted to go to like the driving range and like hit the ball as far as they could. And then I just never picked it up after that. I think I golfed once in the past like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, you gotta go.
Yeah, I shot like a 72.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was 9 holes, but
Wait, you shot a 72 on only 9 holes?
yeah, it wasn't that good.
I thought it was for the whole game. I was like,
that's why I tell people I shot a 72, and then usually I won't disclose that it was only on 9 holes. But
that's funny. That's like a
yeah, no, it was like I just shot. I hit 6 the whole time,
Oh,
and then we were picking up after 6, so it could have been. It was probably a lot worse.
that's really funny.
But I was like, I'm like, I have a good swing because I still remember like the fundamentals a little bit. It's just I don't control the ball anymore, and then. When I got to the green, that was just a real disaster. Like I remember one time, I think I had one great shot. I hit it probably maybe 7-8 feet from the pin, and I'm like, oh, this is great. No way I'm 6-putting this. I putted that thing 6 times and just couldn't get it near.
That's really
the greens weren't well kept, in my opinion. The ball was bouncing around and stuff. I'm like, oh, this is just terrible.
Where was the course?
It was Bel Air in Wall.
That's why.
Yeah, it was
It's
like
not
it wasn't even a real course. It was like a pitch and putt. So like there was not actually real challenges. Like I wasn't even like hitting drivers or anything. I just
Oh yeah. Okay.
it was like one of those like par 3 courses, and I did not. Game wasn't that good. We played with like it was me and my cousin. We were both probably 25, 26 at the time, and then we played with a guy who was probably a little bit older. He was probably like 35 maybe, and then his 8-year-old son.
Oh Oh yeah, I
And
love when
then-
they match you up with someone. I think
And
that's
so it was like us four, and the 8-year-old was just killing all of us. He was he was an actual good golfer, and he was funny. He was like talking shit to us the whole time, like talking to me and my cousin. I'm like, oh God, this kid's really laying into us. This is great.
Oh, that's funny. The last time my dad and I just played, we were set up with a husband and his wife, but the wife knew nothing about golf. She just got back to like playing after like having a baby. It was like the guy's birthday, something. I was just like whooping her ass out there. My dad's like talking shit in my ear, and he's like, get her. Like the two of us had like this little game. She had no idea what was going on, but I felt like so good about myself.
No, that's awesome. I mean, I'm gonna get out there maybe this spring. I'll probably try to get back out on the course.
You let me know.
Where do you go indoor golfing around here? Golf Cave?
I love the one in Bellworks. So it's Swing Loose.
Never even heard of it.
They're amazing. Inside of that Bellworks Labs in Homedale, they have Swing Loose, and it's the same price as anywhere else, but it's just like beautiful. The place is beautiful, Bellworks. And I just went with a friend, actually. I golf now with a buddy of mine from the Jersey Shore Fitness Shop.
Okay.
And he took me to Golf Kings, I think it's called, in Wall.
Okay.
Such a good place. It's a little cheaper, too. It was like 60 an hour or something. It was a little less.
Check it out. I know there's a new spot, that bar in Oakhurst or Baseline Social.
Yes, I haven't been there yet.
Yeah, I haven't been there yet either. But I know they have I think they have full golf simulators inside. They have like 3 of them inside the bar.
So cool.
Yeah, it's probably something I should check out. But I don't even know. My problem is I'm nervous doing indoor golf if there's not like walls all around me, because like I will hit the ball straight. Like if I'm squared up this way, the ball might go straight forward. I've hit the ball in the driving range into the driving range.
Yeah, God, I don't know, because it could bounce back. I mean, you're a big dude. You might hit it. It could like bounce right back on you.
I would just shank it, and it would go like so far just one way that it would still stay in the range. It would still stay like in like where you're hitting from, like over at Twin Brook.
Like to a
it would be like bouncing up and down between like the ceiling and the floor. I'd be like, oh wow, this is embarrassing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's worth a shot anyway.
Yeah, no, I'll get out there eventually.
It's fun. You would enjoy it.
For sure. But I think we can wrap it up for this episode. I think what episode am I on? 12 maybe?
I thought we were 11. Were we 11?
I think we're 12 because I still have another episode I got to get up. So episode 12 with Rachel Knecht. How can everyone find you and your business?
So I have 2 Instagrams, which is my personal. It's Rachel_Knecht, which could be hard to spell. It's KNECHT, and my business, Creativity by Connect.
Okay. And that wraps it up for episode 12 of Unorganized with Seany Shore.